close between these three, and they are such standout players. It's brilliant to have a game where two of them will be going head-to-head, and I think Eurofish certainly leading the way so far.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I think, you know, the best thing about Eurofish is that he's, in Spale, that guy who had to make the calls. He was always playing the 5100, but he also always had to make the calls for his team. So you kind of had that impression where he could never play to his full potential in either. So he was either a team captain doing it very well, or a guy who played his tank doing it very well, and he didn't have those options. He just had to stick right down the middle. But now he's playing in TCM Gaming, who has the likes of Steel Mojo, has the likes of Thoris there, who's the main team captain for TCM. He's got two brilliant team leaders. All he can do is just sit back, relax, and play the tanks he can do. Exactly, focus on what he needs to be doing, the damage.
And he certainly did it in that game. But next up, Himmelsdorf. It's been a stronghold for SchoolBus for years before Team Dignitas win their title under that. They were one of the teams that could consistently challenge Virtus Pros, consistently get under the skin of the Na'Vi side on this one. The team that championed having those backup plans, constantly having those full back options if they needed it. Whether it be that base race coming out with the tier 1s, they always had that trick up their sleeve. This season, they still look good. Once you get it into your brain how to play this map, it rarely leaves you. You can only build on that. We've seen obviously Kazna Crew doing that one, but can SchoolBus replicate? They certainly need to, because TCM, you know, previous to now, I'd have said, you know, maybe Prokhorovka was another strong map for SchoolBus. They were always quite proficient on it. Applewell, you can't deny that.
Remember against Lucky Cracky where they went 2 tanks down and they still brought it back. That's how proficient SchoolBus are on that map.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And considering, you know, as TCM, it's very hard to get it in my brain how it all works out. It's completely confusing. But nevertheless, Himmelsdorf is next. And at the moment, if I look at how this went down, SchoolBus actually lost this map against Lucky Karaki. So, you know, this could be something to keep your eyes on. There's certainly a weak link somewhere in that chain. Whether or not they can find it under TCM, we're yet to see. And actually, Lucky Karaki didn't win against TCM. They actually didn't play that map at all. So it was one of the maps that weren't played throughout that matchup. So maybe something that TCM learnt about Lucky Karaki that SchoolBus didn't. Maybe TCM doing the homework a little bit earlier and kind of put in the legwork that can really give you that small advantage, knowing where the team's, you know, strengths are, knowing where they're kind of working themselves towards. And we'll have to wait and see how this one comes down. Obviously, Himmelsdorf, it's not so much about the tank choices, it's more about how they play it out. We saw, you know, a lot of 5100s in play, not liking it yet, not really seeing it find its place within common practice and actually been kind of verified, I feel, yet. There's not been a team going, okay, this works 100%, it can challenge those 2 IS3s. I think it's been kind of in the hands of teams that maybe don't know how to play it as well as the others. Certainly in the last matchup it wasn't brilliant. But this time around, I don't think we'll see that.
No, I think these two are going to go for the three 5100s, the three 2 IS3s even. For me, the most interesting thing about this map is, so Prokhorovka, the standard archetypal open map, has been won by TCM.
Yeah.
The most dangerous thing for TCM is to go beyond Himmelsdorf. Maps like Cliff and Mines, where things are very unpredictable, goes into SchoolBus's favor, because on that one-on-one situations, I think Applewell and Shanish are going to be able to pull out something incredible most of the time.
I tend to agree.
So I think Himmelsdorf is going to be a really close game, and TCM certainly have to win. It's going to be very hard because obviously SchoolBus got some fantastic heavy tanks players. Armally, absolutely amazing. And I think he's just one of the best IS3 players. Amazing considering he was an artillery player all those eons back. Looking at the others, Applewell 5100, you can never knock him. Although, I think on every single map when we snap back to the players on an offline finals, and if it was on Himmelsdorf, it was always Stalker shouting at Applewell. So maybe he's not as good. Maybe he's not as good on city maps as we expect, but.
Yeah, it was always amusing to see. It was, you know, Stalker was the most vocal person.
Applewell would always sit in front of him, so Stalker could hit him. I'm pretty sure that was the reason.
It probably is. I'm pretty certain. And maybe I expected to see a little bit more individual kind of shining from Applewell, since, you know, maybe the kind of pressure has been removed of Stalker being not there. But he's still playing well. You know, being second in the overall league is not anything to be kind of sneered at. But you know, I looked at him before. He'd pull off those insane moments. You know,
Yeah.
things that we see maybe Numolsho doing occasionally, Elian pulling off. A couple of others who have the ability to go above and beyond. I've not seen him doing it just yet. I've seen him being more kind of stable, a little bit more kind of consistent, but not, you know, the outstanding player. But then again, who would you rather have on your team? A consistent, brilliant player, or someone who pulls off those 1v5 moments once every million games? It's obviously a bit extreme there, but obviously it's those kind of choices you make, and maybe the slight pressure kind of being taken away from them was more the fact that it allows him to be a consistent player than it is for him to be that superstar going for those, you know, kind of 1v3s, the 1v4s, the kind of impossible situations. So I think the tank lineups are going through, at least for TCM, and no surprises there, I feel.
No, 3 5100s, 2 i3s. Good to see that they're not trying anything with that 4th 5100. Looks like SchoolBus starting to lock their tanks in double IS3, triple 5100, double tier 1 as well. So, as we would expect, triple mirror match. None of these two teams going for the fluky little extra 5100, and that's going to make it all the better.
Yeah, so hopefully when the countdown does begin, we'll get underway nice and quickly. Currently, TCM with the advantage. I feel this is going to be evened up. You know, I feel this is going to be a 1-to-1.
Yeah, I think
Your
so.
feelings?
I agree.
Same here. We're both backing SchoolBus in this one, but you never know. These two teams are so damn talented. Let's get ready for that second map. It's going to be HIMMELSDORF. So welcome into the second map. As we said, it's going to be HIMMELSDORF in the north. In red, it will be SchoolBus. In the south, in blue, it's TCM currently leading the way, but you only feel this might be an even battle, maybe evened up to 1-to-1. But how are they starting this one off?
It looks like a standard start from TCM. They had the spawns to take the secondary route, which is this one. The primary is going up here, secondary is going up here, but it is 5 tanks committed there. The other 2 still Mojo and Devil, one in IS3, one in the tier 1 towards the left. That's TCM Gaming. And for SchoolBus, much of the same, 4 tanks this time instead of 5, so TCM have more committed onto the hill, so more firepower, more HP to work with. And the other 2, Dark God Zim and Arclit, looking up the 8 line, positive in the middle, and well, Dark God right over towards the 1, 2, 3 line, getting that spot down.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. Arclit is literally the only man on the ground, so if there was a quick rotate back through this, down obviously up the 7 and 8 line, down the Banana Road pretty much, could go a very different way, and not putting a tier 1 on the hill first from SchoolBus. Is that a normal beginning, or is this something that they're going for like an immediate exchange?
Oop, Eurofish. Oh, gets caught out. Takes one. Lucky there from him. He's also got to rotate out there very quick. Wizeni and Thoris, though, in support.
Let's see if Applewell expects that. Swiftly hitting those brakes. The bounces coming through the snow goes flying. You can see the fact that SchoolBus mean business here. And as I was saying, you know, no tier 1 on the hill. Is that something they're just starting out with, or is this a tactic they were really going for?
Well, it could have been. I mean, it almost did catch out SchoolBus then, because of the whole rotate and the way that the 2 tanks were ready for them. Does get taken out. Shanish receiving the second. Yeah,
but Shanish has Dead Hunter there. He has support. He has backup. And it's certainly causing the damage, and it's causing a hell of a lot of hurt towards TCM. Does down very low. Eurofish was the one to catch that first shell. And actually, Armley, he's carrying on. He's going on the hunt.
He's going to go down, but he might actually find too much for his own good.
Yeah, Armley could be in trouble. This could be a mistake, but is this the frustration already kicking in for SchoolBus? He's pushing down. He's forcing these guys to back away, and it looks like maybe SchoolBus want to add more pressure. Applewell's on his way down as well. Actually, no, tell a lie. He's sitting a little bit further up, maybe trying to focus more players down towards the kind of crosshairs of Dead Hunter and Applewell. We are seeing a couple of reply shots coming in. Thoris, Durs, Wiser than E coming up, and Eurofish never really left, but now he might be punished for this. But Thoris comes around. Look at that damage. Armley has nowhere to escape. He has to sit this one out. He's got to get in a good position to ride the storm that is coming up that hill. As TCM do back away a little, but the damage is done. Applewell now chasing down 2. This could be dangerous.
Yeah, look at this Dead Hunter.
Oh my god, Dead Hunter as well, completely perfect at the moment, not in trouble. Apoel just pushing forward. Aggression from Apoel, not that we've seen in a long time, and he's going in for this one. He might be able to take down Euroffish. He does. Oh, he leaves him alive on 14 HP. Unbelievable stuff. Sadly not getting the highest damage dealing roll there, but he's going to have to back away a little, play it smarter, because he doesn't have full support just yet. But what an aggressive and unique start from SchoolBus.
Does is going to really put some pressure onto Apoel here.
Oh, Apoel trying to get... Oh, he misses the shot! Does! Fluffs down the first. He gets the second. But Apoel might have a chance to get ready for this. And I would never want to challenge Apoel, even in this sort of situation. Can Apoel escape?
No!
Oh my god, Does! You must land these shells. Finally does it. But it's forced the move. It's forced the hand out of SchoolBus. And here comes Armley. Here comes Shanish. Dead Hunter joins in. And Arclit's pushed up. Positive's pushed up. Everyone is willing and ready for this. The only one still sitting pretty is still Mojo, and not anymore. One shell connects. Armley hunting for further victims to add to the list, but can they do anything? Is the HP pool too low? Dead Hunter gets caught on the first. He's going to be held on the cross. Oh, brilliant play from Euroffish. He's left on nothing, but he's still doing damage. Dead Hunter gets taken down solo. Shanish as well in the crossfire. This is going atrociously for SchoolBus. They've just lost Dead Hunter. Apoel's down. Armley surely going to follow suit as well, as Thora stands tall and does every bit of damage he can. And it's going to be, oh my word, unbelievable stuff. Thoris is doing everything he can, and number by number, player by player, SchoolBus have fallen, and the last man shall fall. It will be positive 2-0 to TCM. What a unbelievable game there. What on earth was SchoolBus doing from that very start?
That was one of the most insane things I've seen in my entire life, and I've seen some crazy stuff before. Jesus, on a bike, because seriously, what was going on then? Honestly, SchoolBus got absolutely scored in that situation. That's a C- at least. TCM coming in with the A star. Incredible play, and they were on the back foot. You know, TCM had the lower ground the whole time, but it was just picture perfect from them. That was just absolutely insane stuff. But what I have to say, SchoolBus got a little bit unlucky. Apoel leaving Euroffish on 14 HP with such a low damage roll on that last one. I have to feel sorry for him, because that would have given them so much. Does then could rotate back around, missing 2 shots onto Apoel, not particularly good from him.
Real shaky.
He was very nervous, and I think the adrenaline might be pumping a little bit around the TCM veins right now. And then they waited for SchoolBus to come off the hill on the rotate. Perfect play by him. Still Mojo, great clairvoyance to push onto Arclit, who was on half HP. He won that exchange, and then it was Thoris with the absolute picture-perfect IS3 play, slowly taking them down one by one. You have to give it to TCM. They look on fire right now.
I did not expect that, in complete honesty. For stars, I didn't expect SchoolBus to go for the start they did. That's something that I'm not sold by. For one, I like the initial hill play. Pushing off it, bit of a mistake. They probably didn't expect, I imagine, TCM to wait around that long. But still, committing so much with so little information is always a questionable choice. And clearly, whatever tactic they had in mind just did not pay out for them. But then, you know, credit where it's due. TCM took every opportunity to punish SchoolBus. They never let them get away with a mistake. A lot of teams will. They won't pick up on half of the things that teams kind of, you know, slack on. You know, maybe Apoel being over aggressive. You know, whomever it is who pushes down a little bit too early. Any of these choices that, you know, kind of happen, a lot of teams will kind of be a little forgiving. They won't find them out straight away. They won't immediately punish. But TCM were there, and Thoris's play was stunning. Beautiful. That crossfire they picked up. And who was it? It was down to absolutely no health. I can't even remember who it was.
It was Euroffish.
It was Euroffish again.
And he just stayed alive completely on his own.
Perfect.
He had the cross going. You know, the only thing that could have gone better for TCM was those 2 initial shots onto Apoel. Yeah. They should have connected, because that was TCM's idea. It was to catch SchoolBus coming onto the aggressor, onto Euroffish, who was theoretically on his own. They catch Apoel, and they would have done an IS3 plus an MX 5100, about 700, 750 HP, which would have given TCM even more of a lead going in. So, whew, that was some good stuff all around.
But I also can't believe we're at 2-0.
2-0. This could be a 3-0. And we're heading on to TCM's favourite map.
This is worrying times.
This could be a quick one. I did not expect it to be quick.
Yeah. So, guys, tank picks coming in. What are we seeing here, Ollie? Anything surprising?
No, triple 5100, double I3, double tier 1. Good to see that TCM's not actually trying to innovate, as aren't SchoolBus, triple 5100, double I3, double tier 1 Cunningham from them as well. Another mirror match, and probably going to be another cracker. Although SchoolBus now very, very angry, I imagine,
Furious.
having lost on both the archetypal open map Prokhorovka, the archetypal city map Himmelsdorf. What can they do on this mix?
I really don't know. I really don't. We're going to have to wait for that countdown. It's do or die for SchoolBus. TCM, if they pick this map up, if they play passively, let SchoolBus come to them, it's game over for SchoolBus.
Well,
they can't do anything.
Maximum of a draw, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. They'd have to win every other map, SchoolBus, pretty much. And don't get me wrong, they can do that. SchoolBus are a talented team. But TCM, if they play this one out on a map that they like, that's what I want to see. I don't know what's going to go on here, guys. You know, this is the tanks we were ready for. So, guys, let's get ready for what could be the final map between these two. It's going to be ENSK. And welcome into map number 3. It will be ENSK, the stronghold of TCM for many years. And well, TCM will be in the south in blue, in the north in red. It's SchoolBus. We are currently set on match point for TCM in this absolutely phenomenal game. I cannot wait to get this one underway. Ollie, what are we seeing so far?
Seeing TCM look towards the city, and for me, the only thing that could go for TCM wrong is the overconfidence factor, which we've seen from them before. Let's hope they play their good standard tanks, because SchoolBus at the moment are at least 20% worse than TCM Gaming. But all in all, a strange start from TCM. SchoolBus, pretty standard stuff. A couple of tanks ready for the rotate from the green zone. You got a couple towards the 1-2-3 line. And obviously a couple on the cap zone ready for the cap. So SchoolBus, very, very standard stuff. TCM, not so much, more of the city play. But they're leaving Eurofish on his own once again.
I can't wait to see this one come down. Yeah, it's a worrying sight. We'll have to see how this goes. I want to see TCM's endgame plan, because right now SchoolBuses have not been working particularly well. And I can imagine they're a little bit nervous going forward. Clit has got a little bit of ground gained. Just getting those blind shots down there. Not much of a connection, however. Just playing it smart. So, overall, a little bit of a passive start from SchoolBus, but more of a standard start, I think is the best way to describe it. Yeah,
I mean, this is not exactly the word I would describe Eurofish with, but, you know, if he wants to paint that in his own tank, fair enough. Won't be the one to complain. Armley gets spotted. More shots coming out from both sides. Trying to connect onto that hull down IS-3. Armley doing a very good job, but no real information from the side of SchoolBus. And TCM, they can see Armley's in that position. They're thinking, okay, so they're not going to leave one IS-3. You can leave 150-100 on its own because it's fast enough, and he can also deal enough damage in a short amount of time to make it a very, very good lone tank, a roaming tank. But in IS-3, TCM's thinking, okay, so there's at least one tank in support. There's two, and there's a 1 tier 1 as well. And pretty much the rest of SchoolBus are all now just surrounding Armley there. He's a real pivotal player. But again, as long as TCM aren't overconfident, and I think the most important thing is that they don't rush into this game, they don't play aggressively, they should definitely not, then they should be okay. The only weakness I see here is that if SchoolBus push through, they'll find Still Mojo and Thoris. White and Need will take about 10-15 seconds, which is a lot of time when you're playing against the 5100 to push forward. First frag does go into favor of TCM Gaming Still Mojo with a brilliant shot in his IS-3.
Yeah, but that has slightly given away TCM's plan of mostly being around there. And it's going to probably force the rotate out of SchoolBus to get over towards that green side. And there we have it. Applewell, Dark God Zim all heading over. Maybe that was the backup plan, almost having that one player in the green zone for TCM. Might be able to get a couple of shots off. Sharthak certainly going to reconfirm that Arklit and Applewell are heading over. And maybe we'll see Eurofish doing a little bit of damage very soon.
Whew, this is going to be interesting. So Eurofish, obviously TCM knows that SchoolBus are very likely to push down the 1-2. The 6 to 0 line. So the tracks and the green zone. They got Devil in support going first, so he's going to spot basically, I think, from, let's say D7 to D0, then that's the whole section for him. Then you've got Sharthak on the cross, getting the 50-meter proxy spot. What they have to be careful is not to deploy Eurofish's massive SA-47 too early. He's got to basically sit in support, and then once the engagement's happened, he can shoot from behind.
Well, at the moment, Arklit is going on a solo mission. He's literally on his own. He does have the support of 3 other tanks, Shanish up, obviously, in the green zone as well. But this is interesting stuff from SchoolBus. They're definitely not out of this just yet. They're still willing to come up with their own strategies and their own anti-strats. Now there's a couple of other tanks joining in. Armley heading down as well. Is this a good play from SchoolBus or possible mistake?
I love the play from... who's that on the left? Right up in D0. So that's Shanish there. He's playing a 5100. That could catch Eurelfish out. So maybe this is actually a good play from SchoolBus, but because Devil is actually forwards, Eurelfish will get the first spot, so you'll get the first shot, so you'll get the first kill. That could be dangerous for SchoolBus, making it a 5 versus 4. But as long as TCM don't get too bogged down, too focused onto Arklit, and by definition Armley, then it should just be about okay. They're not playing too aggressively. The only weakness I see is Eurelfish on his own. But again, he's supported by YZNE and Thoris.
Yeah, Shanish is moving up, however. Thoris has received 1 shell from the Dastardly duo. And, well, they always land a second. That one will bounce, though. And Armley and Arklit need to be a little careful. They feel fairly confident to be sat out in this sort of position. They clearly understand where TCM are to an extent. But here we go. Shanish has been spotted out there. Dead Hunters coming around to support, but Shanish is in a little bit of trouble. There's not much cover here. He's taken a big bit of damage. Oh my word, 1 more shell and he's down. This is unreal. Can he find the final shell? Shanish has backed away. He knows he's not spotted now. He might just survive, but that is the danger there. Dead Hunter now moving up. Arklit and co have support from Applewell, the big boy, now coming into the mix. But what difference can it make? Can Shanish sit this one out? Look at the damage difference already. Yeah. This is dangerous.
But SchoolBus have their window of opportunity because they know where Eurelfish was shooting from. They know he's got another 20 to 30 seconds to reload. So SchoolBus have to make their move right now. It looks like they're going to be making it onto Eurelfish, which would be a mistake, as he does have cover up behind these bushes, these kind of buildings and bushes. So they're going to have to spot him out, and then they're going to have to move in, which will give TCM the window of opportunity they need.
And it looks like TCM are happy to start taking this one. Arklit and Armley are in a little bit of trouble because you're seeing YZNE, Durs, and Thoris all showing up. But there we go, Eurelfish does go down. A swift removal from the map. But now can SchoolBus deal with the repercussions here? There may be a counter push, but at the moment, TCM not looking so decisive here. They need to start thinking ahead, start making these plans happen, because Arklit and, well, the man on your screen right there, Armley, have certainly done the job. They've unraveled what TCM started to build.
Good play by TCM, but SchoolBus knowing the weakness and seeing it, taking out Eurelfish very quickly. The one issue was that Eurelfish couldn't hit that last shell because Shanish went unspotted behind the kind of bushes. So all he had to do is hit that last shell, but Shanish does get spotted out. Steel Mojo doesn't quite have angle. He is going to be going for the cap, which will force some sort of resource to come around and have to deal with him.
Yeah, still Mojo letting a couple of shots flying, but Dead Hunter did split off earlier on, so he's very close by. Applewell quickly retracting too. We've seen TCM use this strategy before. They like using this cap pressure. They're happy to do it. Applewell peering in, looking for a way through. And you can see Arklit and Armley still keeping Thoris and Durs busy. They're going to have to move in to try and catch one of these players out. 2 minutes 50. Is this enough time for a team to walk away with a victory here?
Ooh, Arklit receives another one, 358 this time. I'm wondering what can happen against Steel Mojo, as it does look like the rotate is coming out from SchoolBus. Steel Mojo just about getting away with that one, won't get spotted, and now SchoolBus is in the worst position.
Yeah, they are, but Dead Hunter and Applewell still on the prowl here. They're looking for that one player who backed away, but I don't think they're going to find him here. Smart play from Steel Mojo, really such an intelligent player when it comes to this sort of stuff. And at the moment, I feel as though this may be a draw unless someone finds a really defining moment out of this one, because no team has a huge advantage. Let's look at it this way. Shanish is literally a one-shot pretty much. Arklit is fairly low. And outside of that, they don't even know where Steel Mojo is. This is not the best situation in the world for SchoolBus here. Neither is it for TCM, as Durs receives one because the hunting duo joined by Armley is doing the damage. Durs could fall here. He's 1 shot away. He's going to try and have to be a little bit more careful. You can see him backing into a corner. corner, trying to find that cover, leave his teammates to support him. 1 minute and 45. We're starting to run out of time, but still Mojo rears his head and does do a little bit of damage towards Applewell, warning him away from going for those shots towards Thoris. But this is a blow-for-blow battle, and I don't know who's going out on top right now.
YZNE is the undeployed weapon for TCM Gaming. He's really got to hold on to this one because SchoolBus are creeping into an advantage. He's going to engage onto Armley.
Yeah, he certainly is, and we are seeing YZNE being met on all fronts. Dead Hunter and Applewell moving in towards Still Mojo. 2v1 now going down there. It's a 3v2 for SchoolBus up in the north, but can they take down Still Mojo fast enough? Applewell now around the backside. Double damage coming in. He surely cannot handle this. There we go. He has fallen now just to stand. YZNE and Durs must withstand the absolute onslaught coming out from SchoolBus. I don't know if they can do this one, Ollie.
Ooh, 59 seconds left. Cap's also going to be underway. YZNE's got to stop this one.
I don't think he can. He's on nothing. He's down to 40 HP. He goes down. And now just one man stand. Durs in a 1v4. He took so much damage earlier on, and I think he's going to be taking some even sooner. And this game is certainly not over yet. SchoolBus bringing this one back. Can Durs run and hide long enough? Because that Cap might not be fast enough. I think they might try and speed that one up, but no, they're going to commit. Dead Hunters come around the side, Arclet on the other. They're going to sandwich him in. 27 seconds left. Arclet coming to do the damage, and there you have it. SchoolBus will pick up ENSK, and maybe TCM need to be a little bit more careful before they get too confident in this one.
I think it was really unlucky for TCM. Great play by SchoolBus. The one issue there was simply that Shanish lived. Simple as that. If Shanish didn't live, he wouldn't be able to provide the support he was going to do. A little bit unlucky from TCM side, that last shell just not connecting. A mistake from them because I think they didn't realize how important it was to kill Shanish. Obviously, they don't have time travel, so they can't know how much he can do. But
yeah,
you send, who was it there? It was Devil. Send him forwards in the tier 1 to keep Shanish spotted 100%, so Eurofish can hit those last 2 shells, which he desperately needed to hit.
Yeah.
But it was such a close game at the end of the day. I think TCM should have just gone for the draw. They should have just said, okay guys, we're at back foot here, let's just rotate around. You know, Armley and Applewell managing to come from behind the 2 AMX 5100s because Still Mojo didn't reverse back far enough, didn't spot the cross. That was the simple mistake, the 2 mistakes. SchoolBus managing to take down Eurofish, and Still Mojo just not reversing, so he couldn't spot the 2 5100s.
Yeah, so next map being Cliff. I feel that any Russian, Ukrainian, any side around that sort of region does seem to have a slight advantage. And, well, SchoolBus are looking a little bit more in that direction than TCM, at least. But is this a map we can see them doing well on? Is this a map that they've won on before, or is this something that maybe TCM could, you know, cause an upset? Or are we going to see another Kazanakru-style passive play coming out from any of these teams?
I think this is going to be action-packed. So far, we've been treated to some great games. I don't think that's about to stop with these two. They're so close. TCM being just absolutely superb. SchoolBus showing us that they still have some fight, some, you know, bark to their bite. Bite to their bark? Which way does that go around?
Bite to their bark.
Bite to their bark makes more sense, right? Logic.
Don't worry about logic. We don't use that here.
We don't use that. No, precisely.
That's for losers.
Yeah, maths and logic, screw that stuff. But yeah, I think, honestly, SchoolBus obviously got the momentum coming off this one. I'm not sure if that's going to continue after this game. It just depends if TCM have really taken that loss to heart after coming so close to winning it. Hopefully Eurofish still, you know, keep themselves high after a really couple of successful maps, just not coming out too good on that last one.
Yeah, and for me, it's can SchoolBus build off this? Because okay, let's put it this way: if they want to pick up the victory here, they have to pretty much win the map. They have to win all 3 to pick up the win overall, because obviously TCM have match point against them. The question is, can they go aggressive and still be able to take down TCM? Because that map, I feel, ENSK was a little bit even between the two. TCM also made moves, they made aggressive stances, they occasionally went for the shots, they went for the victory, rather than that passive posture, as you mentioned, which could have maybe pretty much given this a draw as the best outcome for SchoolBus. Them not doing that has now given a window of opportunity to SchoolBus. But they must be aggressive on all maps and actually go for the victory. If they draw this one out, it's pretty much going to be a draw overall is the best outcome if they win the final map. So, in my mind, it's can SchoolBus be aggressive, and can TCM now, knowing that's what SchoolBus has to do, find their reply? you know, is this going to be a TCM map where they're a little bit more cautious, a little bit more passive, a little bit more tailed down? Jeez, I remember that, you know, still
Double
Mojo
IS3.
picks up the IS3s on this one. Is it Thoris who joins him in that?
Double IS3, Thoris, still Mojo, yeah.
Yeah. You know, that could be the lineup. It didn't work out well before, though. So maybe they have to adapt that around a little, see how they can kind of adjust it from the last time they tried it, because those two IS3s pretty much got picked to pieces. And players like Applewell will happily do that for you, as will any of the others. You know, you give them a chance, they'll just be right in your face. There's no two ways about that. But, you know, to me, it's can TCM, one, adapt to a passive way that actually works. They play this map fairly passively normally.
Yep.
They pick up those IS3s, they run that sort of strategy. It's perfectly fine. Find it enough to be able to pick up at least a draw, I feel is the best way to talk about it. But at maximum, they obviously want the victory, but they have to deny SchoolBus from getting that ball rolling, because that's when the danger really happens with them. You know, I feel at the World Grand Finals, whatever you want to call it, SchoolBus, then Dignitas, no, it was Synergy?
Yep.
Didn't actually ever have that confidence. They never got the ball rolling. They had an atrocious start, and they dropped out early. I think if you give them a window of opportunity to start building, they become dangerous. So I think the tank choices have been made. What? Ooh.
We haven't got
Ooh.
we haven't got any IS3s, so they're not making that mistake, at least for TCM. But it's going to be the triple 5100, double T69, double tier 1, and for SchoolBus, the Pershing next to the T69, the triple AMX 1390, the double tier 1. Very interesting lineups. I prefer SchoolBuses though.
Well, let's find out, because guys, we're ready for the what could be final map, Cliff. Alrighty guys, so welcome into map number 4. It will be Cliff, and as promised in the north in red it's SchoolBus being the comeback kids, and let's see if they can keep it going. Obviously TCM in the south in blue, currently still on match point, but can they really pull something out here? Not going for the lineup I expected, but hopefully one that will work. Is that what?
And then keeping them below, but aggressive start from TCM. Does Nikita in the best spawn to go up into the high positions, but standard start from TCM Gaming. SchoolBus staying on the back foot a little bit, and honestly they are the better team here. Positive getting caught on the cross, whether the first shell can connect. Eurofish doesn't connect, and orders YZNE. So at the moment, 3 or 4 misses from TCM Gaming. From the south, you can get that early aggression, but no damage done so far.
Yeah, and I'm surprised SchoolBus are this passive. They can't afford to lose this, obviously. They'd have to go for the draw, so maybe that's what they're aiming at. But then again, then they couldn't win overall. So wait to see how this one comes out. Maybe predicting that TCM will go a little aggressive. Maybe try, you know, get in their faces a little bit early on. And it's not about the tanks. Obviously, the tanks are given in a little earlier. It's not down to this kind of like counter pick style. But, you know, I thought it'd be the lineup, the way they play it out, that maybe a little more aggressive, and still Mojo going wandering in that tier 1. And I love the versatility in that TCM lineup. Moments ago, you see still Mojo in that heavy tank, you know, doing wonders. Happy to switch up to that tier 1 and do what he can for the side. So, at the moment, whose start do you prefer, really? Is there any preference, or is this just normal?
Looking at SchoolBus's lineup, it's pretty standard. Basically, they got the support from behind. And the MX 1390, and then the rest of them are pretty in normal positions, try and deal with TCM. YZNE from TCM Gaming sitting up in towards the standard position, ready for that cross. He's basically, his game is basically to deal with Dead Hunter and Arclit. That's pretty much what he's there for. If they push, he's got to get the cross on. He's got to make those shots count. The MX 1390, not the easiest tank in the world to play for sure. The F3 is not particularly accurate. A couple of shells heading towards YZNE. No connections, but SchoolBus have a good idea of where he is.
Yeah, Dead Hunter there, really happy to let him do some work. He was nicely boosted up there, I believe, by Arclit earlier on. So nice stuff coming out. We do see a couple of reply shots, but that is a rather dangerous side on the mountain there. Obviously, Applewell and Dead Hunter letting a couple of shells off, but no connections. But at least keep the opponents on their toes. And it reminds me of those rock climbing goats you see, where they're just like on the rock faces. Right now, that's Applewell just chilling out. So
brilliant. Those rock climbing goats are like on the what?
Have you never seen
rock
them?
faces.
Have
I'm pretty sure every goat's a rock climber, but yeah.
No, but some of them are like on like rock faces, like sheer cliffs. You've never seen that?
No, I've seen it. I haven't seen it in real life, though.
Oh, okay.
No.
But still, that's what I'm seeing right now. Applewoww is a goat, basically. So leave me alone.
Right.
All right, it gets me through the day. And at the moment, it gets me through games where I'm not seeing much action because it's 6 minutes and 52 seconds in. No one's actually landed a shell yet. Is that just a case of people playing a little bit smarter, a little bit more carefully?
They've shot plenty. They just haven't hit any. That's the basic problem.
Mouse sports.
One word. Lemming train.
That's not one word.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
I love you,
One
Ollie.
phrase.
I love you deep down, so deep down.
English, it's hard, guys. It's actually really hard, especially when you're
very
born in
difficult.
England. But yeah, DJ Red, actually I wasn't born in England, I was born in Germany. But the Dead Hunter's actually going to get caught on the cross. He gets tracked. First shell does hit. Second shell as well. Ooh!
All right, now this could be Dead Hunter going down pretty damn early, and he has. My God, that goat has been, well, made into lamb chops. Dear God, that guy. How did he get called out here? That
He
is
just
a big question.
drove up the cliff.
Why on earth would you do that? You need to win this one, SchoolBus. Please stop making yourselves easy roasted targets for the opponents.
I don't get what that was, to be honest. Dead Hunter is a pretty good word for it, though. He's living up to his name.
He certainly is, but, you know, if you still had Stalker in the team, I could imagine he'd be out of his chair yelling towards the back of his head if he was next to Applewoww. So, at the moment, SchoolBus now have the disadvantage. They have to back away a little. Actually, Arclip retracting quite far back. He's now joining Applewoww towards the more foot side of this cliff here. Shanish still around as well. Dark God Zim towards the back. But has TCM kind of mustered themselves together at all from this, or is that just, you know, a nice little pickup from the start?
Well, it's pretty obvious what they have to do. They got YZ&E in that position already. They have to make Eurofish or Durs go to that position as well. So they have two MX-3090s. They put them there, and they get the cross on, and then the rest of TCM come across from the top and basically get that pincer movement on. Then you really do guarantee that your two MX-3090 or your three, you could even commit three there. Don't get caught out by the tank that is sitting back here, which I believe is, I'm not sure, I think that's Armley. So you pretty much guarantee the two MX-3090s don't get shot by Armley, and then you can really move on from there. So Eurofish is going to finally be making that move. He's going to be rotating all around and joining YZ&E from the bottom.
Well, let's put it this way. Fourth map. If this is drawn out, best SchoolBus can hope for is a draw overall. Not exactly what you want to be exiting with, and that's if they win the final one. So I'm surprised TCM not going in for this. Maybe not putting themselves out in the line of fire just yet, but Eurofish is coming around the flank, so it's slowly falling into place, and only Shanish really could stop that. The one thing I feel about this map is it's very individual in the spots. Obviously the crossfire is vital, but you are quite solo sometimes in this one. You do have to handle yourself quite well, so let's hope Eurofish can do the damage from this newly adopted position. He's not far from Shanish, but they could be caught out if they're not too careful.
So slowly but surely, TCM edging forwards, getting themselves all into the right positions. As I said, the basic plan is to come from as many angles as possible, catch SchoolBus as quickly as possible and really wipe them off the face of the earth. There's YZ&E spotted onto Dark Gods. A perfect little hip shot from him. Takes him down. No repercussion coming through either. But that might support, might split. Shanish has hit one onto YZ&E. 3-2, 2-3-2. Also causes Shanish to come off the hill. This could be dangerous for them.
Yeah, SchoolBus now having to be a little bit careful. They are retracting back. You can see Arclip moving away. Applewoww as well, positive. Looking a little bit more nervous. And it's going to give a lot of the map control over towards TCM if they feel like using it. Applewoww probably going to go to the position that we've seen him before, up the top of that cliff if he fancies it, or at the top of the lighthouse. But actually at the moment just adjusting a little more towards the northeast of this map, really clustering up with the others. And why are they getting so close here? Is this... I'm not sure if I like this. They could be caught out, but it seems they're going on a full rotate at least.
I think they might be worried about TCM capping, which would be a good move from them.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I don't think they are.
No, they're not. They're certainly not rushing into it anytime soon. Thoris finds himself a good position to keep the spots onto Shanish, but time is running out for TCM. They have to make their move very soon, otherwise their massive advantage they had could be thrown away. 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. TCM, what are you doing?
I really hope they do start kind of realizing they do have the advantage here, because You've got Dead Hunter down. You've got Dark God Zim down. You know where Shanish is, and he can't escape there. You know that there's now no longer a player on that position that you were previously in. And they're not making the most of it yet, but there we go. Finally, Shanish does receive a shell. He's going to just about avoid the second, but he could be in trouble. There's nowhere really he can get to without being caught out on the cross. You can see he's literally tucked himself away between a rock and a hard place, and it's going to be Eurelfish up there as well. Going to be causing a lot of pain for him. He might be helped out of the situation by Armley coming through here, and they're going to have to try and back him up in this one, try and sort these players out who are applying so much pressure to the side. And I'm still so surprised we've not seen a bigger move, but finally TCM are rolling out, and is this going to be the push that we've been waiting on? It
has to be the push we've been waiting on, and they left it to the absolute last minute. This is dangerous stuff from them. 1 minute and 38 seconds, Armley first target.
Oh, and look at Arkley as well. He's put himself right in a great position. Durs and Dijura deep. Shanish is going low. It's a split attack. Surely Arkley will fall. There we go. First player down. Shanish surely going to be next. Armley and Applewell on the run, trying to hide. Positive doing the same. He's got a great little position down the cliff face, but can these 1390s outrun the rest of them? Why is it any catching Applewell in the heels? Applewell trying to escape. Armley doing the same. 2 shots hit, but it does not mean Applewell stops rolling. It is a game of cat and mouse, and it's only going to be played for 1 minute, and SchoolBus can look towards that next map, possibly. But still, this is not looking like TCM can find them in time.
That's 1 minute left on the clock. Applewell very far in towards the cap. Eurelfish, though, in the right position. TCM Gaming left it too long. They could have left it too long. They still got 2 to find and 48 seconds to find them. Also, the cap could be an option, but will they get there in time?
That's a very, very big question here. Applewell's found the safest little rock to cower behind, and he is not going to leave that for the love of him. So, cap has begun. That is the thing they were going to fall back to. There is still a tier 1 in play. Armley is nowhere to be found. So, at the moment, they don't have enough time to do it. But, if they get another tank in that cap circle, there could be danger here between these guys. And, well, there we have it. Is there enough time, though?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's enough time. I don't think it is. TCM Gaming leaving it too late for no reason at all.
My word.
And they've got 12 seconds and they've got too much time to find. Awful play from TCM Gaming towards the end.
This is so disappointing to witness. Eurelfish finally finds Armley, but as you said, too little, too late. The time has run out. And it's going to be a draw.
That was pathetic from TCM, I must admit it.
Wow.
You know, you got a certain amount of time to do something, and I said this before.
Yep.
If you want to draw a game on Cliff, you can draw a game on Cliff. It's simple as that. You really do need to give yourself loads and loads of time to win. Simple as that. But TCM Gaming, they do get the draw, so that removes the ability for SchoolBus to win. So TCM take the winning where they're 2-1 up. All SchoolBus can do from here is actually draw it out and take it 2-all as we do head on to our 5th map. But as I said before, you know, you kill an AMX 3090 who pushes too far, tries to get himself into a sneaky position. You're 1 tier 8 tank alive for nothing else. Stop dilly-dallying. Just simple mathematics. Just, you've got the more HP, you got the more damage. Just find an easy way in. I'm not sure what this whole YZNE thing was. Eurelfish in the middle, you know, it just made no sense at all. Once you saw Shanish was on his own, send your 4 or 3 tanks off the middle and just simply attack SchoolBus for all you can. That was a missed opportunity if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, and, you know, I would never give SchoolBus a chance to get back into games, because you can see that they're smart players. So Applewell then playing it correctly, everyone playing smart overall. They didn't play for the victory, but they played smart enough to get them the draw and now get them back in with a chance of actually at least drawing out the entire map after a disastrous beginning to their game. So, oh, TCM, what are you doing to me?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even know what the last map is, and what would it be logically? I'm trying to think here.
Steps, probably. Unless someone wants to play Ruinberg, which I don't think anyone does.
Not as a deciding map, probably.
No.
Not the smartest of ideas.
Because
I don't know.
If it is Ruinberg, TCM would have just been like, nah, we're going to play 5 IS3s, 2 tier 1s, screw that.
Yeah, I'm still so disappointed in what we've seen from TCM. Like, I've been so impressed and then disappointed in one game.
It's like they got gifted that IMX 1390. Yeah. I'm like, nope.
No, we don't want that. We're gonna play it out the hardest way possible, depending on a little bit of luck and not being able to count how long it takes to cap a flag.
Yeah.
Not
They
Not
were so
ideal.
indecisive there. I mean,
It was indecision that cost them as well.
The good thing about SchoolBus, what they did well, is they split TCM up. They put Arklit all the way up the north.
Yep.
So TCM had to put 2 tanks onto him, and then they had the AMX 3090s all towards the left, just on top of the hill, so they could just jump away. And that was basically the idea from SchoolBus. It was like, nah, we're just going to split TCM up as much as we can, and we're going to cause them basically a massive headache. But that's completely TCM's fault.
And that's Cliff. We've seen that so many times now.
If you want to draw on Cliff, you can. You have to go for the cap. The whole time, TCM's plan should have been going for the cap. Never go for the kill on Cliff. We've seen it. I think maybe I can't even count on one hand. Honestly,
maybe once.
Teams, if they want to draw, they have to do is just drive in one direction because it's so big. You have so many avenues. You can just get wherever you want.
You can literally dance around the main area in here. There's so many circular points you can just go around. If you really want to buy some time, you can buy it. You know, you saw the fact that Apwell even just tucked himself in a corner behind a rock, turtled down for a little bit, and he knew that they wouldn't be able to catch up and find him that quickly. As soon as they did, I'll go for the challenge, but they won't get to Armley then.
Yep.
And it was just a smart play that SchoolBus may not win the games, but they'll win situations like that because how many times have they played them out? How many times have they been put in that spot where, okay, we can't win, let's go to fallback plan, the last option where we have to draw this out, and they can do it. TCM, I really, really wanted more from them there, and it just wasn't. I hate the way they can be so good on one.
I think they're probably more annoyed than we are.
Probably. I'd hope so,
I would expect it, to be honest. But yeah, as I said, the basic plan should have been cap. Because the thing about the cap is, once it hits 100% with the exclamation mark, you've won. You don't have to, you don't have to worry about anything. You know you're going to win within X amount of time.
Yep.
So
what was the only threat then, really? If they went for an early cap, there was one tier 1 left alive, and Apwell and Armley, I think. And Apwell and Armley had already split off. They'd already been chased away, as we did know from whoever else was alive by TCM chasing them. And the other tier 1, I think it was Positive maybe left?
Yeah. Positive in that tier 1 was left.
So maybe he could have done something, but that would have been lucky work from Positive more than anything.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they would have had to get YZ and E in the middle to stop Apwa and Armley rotating and simply stopping the cap.
Yep.
Then it would have been those 3, but the thing was, they did actually put 3 in there, but it was already too late. It should have been 3 immediately, and then Eurofish and YZ and E, Eurofish was obviously still alive. Just go 2 versus 2 against Armley and Apple. And even if they don't win, they've stalled them long enough to basically get that win.
Yeah, you saw how happy that Apple and Armley and everyone else were to just back away. It's unbelievable. So hopefully we can get ourselves ready for the next map. I'm not sure what the delay was there. Just chilling out, taking a time, having a good time. We will be changing on to the final map, obviously coming up, and hopefully TCM can kind of rally themselves back together here. You know, they can still go for the victory, let's bear in mind, whereas SchoolBus can only go for the draw. In the ideal outcome, they can still lose. So they can't draw the map, because that means TCM win. They can't lose the map, because that means TCM wins. So now they're down to pretty much, we must win this. And that is a dangerous point for SchoolBus. They come out fighting when they have to. They have talented players who can do that. You know, if you tell Apwell, I need you to land these 4 shots, he will land those 4 shots. There's no asking of that. All right, and then you put it into aspect. You go, okay, you know, why is it I need to let you land these 4 shots? I'm not sure if he could land it every single time.
Yeah.
Not being harsh to individual players, but you've got to take into account that, you know, SchoolBus have the reputation they have for a reason, and it may not be because of their teamwork, but it comes down to the individuals. If the individuals step up to the point where they can just cover each other or play basic tanks, don't need the brilliant strategies, just a basic good kind of attempt at how to threaten the opponents, that's when TCM will get shaken. We've seen TCM going. This is the exact same way they lost to Lucky Karaki almost. They picked up ENSK, they picked up Steps, and then lost on Prokhorovka, Cliff, and Ruinberg as the last 3. And it was literally in that order. First 2 for TCM, great, looking good. Last 3, not so great. And it worries me. I'm seeing this again. It worries me that this could happen to TCM, but we are getting ourselves ready for the last map. That's going to be Mines. Now, dangerous one for a last map. What are we seeing?
Dangerous.
Yeah, I did not expect this at all.
So, TCM... starting from the, I think it's the south, and the north it's going to be SchoolBus. So TCM have got the triple AMX 1390 T32, AMX 5100, SchoolBus T32, IS3, double AMX 1390. Shanish may be playing the T69, and you know, Steps, Ruinberg, I could have seen TCM drawing it or winning it. Mines, Not so sure. I mean, SchoolBus has been extraordinarily good on mines before. It's a bit like Cliff. They can really be dynamic and quick. And we've got Apple on the AMX1390 who's so good. Armley as well next to him. And when it comes to that hill play, you want those AMX1390s to be on absolute point.
Even when they split the Lighthouse Island, any of these options, they are damn good at doing it. This is worrying times for TCM. So guys, let's get ready for the final map. It's going to be mines. It is now the final chance for TCM to pick up the victory. We are here live on Mines. And as we said, final chance for TCM to claim this one as a win rather than a draw. And TCM will be starting in the south in blue, in the north in red. It's SchoolBus on a bit of a comeback tour. But look at this play from TCM. What are they doing?
Maybe
are they boosting?
They're boosting exactly like Eurofish did. Maybe looking for if they get one of the MX1390s up there, maybe that's a possibility.
Let's bear in mind, Applewell was one of the players who kind of found this out before, who undid it against Wusa.
Yeah, but the thing is, all they need is one MX1390 up there to draw it out. Simple as that. Otherwise, then he does get caught out there from Shanish from behind. Second one does miss. Not got a chance for the third one. Dangerous stuff. Dangerous start from TCM. Very risky move, but Eurofish does find himself a good position up on that hill.
He certainly does. He's caught one towards Applewell, but I would not play this strategy against this team. You know, maybe others. Maybe you look at, you know, what Wusa did and go, okay, that's a nice start. That's cool. I like that. Not these guys. Not with the way they absolutely decimated Wusa before. But maybe there's a secondary plan for TCM. Maybe there's something up their sleeve. Because it looks as though they're trying to take over the east side of the map, leaving, you know, the likes of Armley kind of useless here up on the hill. And hell, he's going to get the hell off of that. Applewell and Armley happily rotating off this and looking for the challenge elsewhere.
They're trying to find a way into TCM. They know that they can't jump off and engage straight on against the T32 because still Mojo, he'll have 9 seconds and he'll hit that 320 average damage every single time. And then you got DJ Red deep in the background, and this is the plan from TCM, right? They just want to draw it. They simply just want that timer to go down. So you can see that 8 minutes and 20 seconds. That's the 8 minutes and 20 seconds SchoolBus has to do. Yeah,
but look at Wizenny. He's been caught out. Durs is there as well, though. But can they take on Armley and Applewell? They are both around this situation. Both of them are here. Wizenny is very low. Applewell now joining on the hunt. Positive backing away. He's done enough of a job. Wizenny not landing that shell on the way out either. Not going to make it much better, as we do see these two raging the fight on. But it looks like more reinforcements coming in for SchoolBus as well. They're not going to be backing away from this one.
They want to engage onto YZ and E. He's down to 299 HP. Well, they aren't in quite the right position. Dead Hunter trying to find his way in through this game. Very interesting to see that AMX, that IS-3 even on the hill. Doesn't have good gun depression, so whether it can be effective, that's the real question. 7 minutes and 33 seconds left. That play by TCM gave them about, let's say, a minute, maybe a minute and a half of breathing room. But YZ&E so low, although both teams on pretty much the same amount of HP, and that's the play from SchoolBus. They looked at the village. They were like, okay, these guys are playing aggressively. We know still Mojo's probably going to be up in K8, K9. So let's just come from the Lighthouse Island. Armley, Applewell, obviously going to be going over there now. Come from a different angle. That's the best angle you can come from as well when you're playing from the north, because you do, if you just head over here, you just get the crossfire, and you can work your way in. Work your way in from the hill with the IS-3, take it down here. The MX-39 is going to come up across, and suddenly you're in a situation where you're focusing all your energy into one direct point. And we all know that works fantastically well. And TCM, they're not in the driving seat right now. SchoolBus certainly are in the better positions, but TCM, they only have to hang on. That's their insurance plan.
All right, now Applewell has got some great ground covered. He bravely just went straight ahead. Armley now joining him in the 1390. This is disastrous times for TCM if they're not careful. After getting such a great start to let it slip towards the end, if they give this map up. But anyway, at the moment you can see the positions they're in. Shanish still towards the center of the map. Arklet and Dead Hunter towards that the hill, still happily up there a little bit. And that questionable IS-3 choice, still not sold in that. Positive holding the way, and Dark God Zim leading the IS-3s up towards that ideal spot to get that crossfire down onto, utilize the map to the best of its ability. And 5 minutes and 55 seconds left. If SchoolBus want to do it, they're going to have to start thinking about the time limit, not make the same mistake that TCM did previously on Cliff there. So hopefully they can kind of bring themselves back to that forefront. Normally, we'll be looking for that crossfire. Trying to look for that way in. He knows there's going to be players around here. They're not silly. They know how to play this game. Dark God's in moving forward. Shanish toying with the idea as well. And every second that passes, it looks like SchoolBus are trying to get themselves ready. And look at Dark God's in. He can just get himself to the foot of this hill, get the spots over the top as we saw previously done. Whether or not he will do is a very different situation.
So let's work this out for a second. Let's say SchoolBus realistically engage within the 1.5 minutes. So they're going to be, I don't know, around 4 minutes when they're engaging onto TCM. Then it's going to take them, let's say, a minute. No, let's say 20-30 seconds to find out where Eurofish is. Another 20-30 seconds to commit a tank on the hill. And then another probably 2 minutes to kill Eurofish. I don't see how SchoolBus can win this. I just don't see it. Unless Eurofish gets, like, Amaraked. Because he's in the perfect position. And then when you consider DJ Red Deep and that big old AMX 5100, still 1.4k HP on the cross, still Mojo on the other side of the cross in the T32 with 1,550 HP to play with. That's 2,000 HP to really focus on, to not that so much from SchoolBus. The only one who really can play around are Arclit and Dead Hunter, and they're not playing it defensively, so they're going to have to push forwards, and that means, well, they're going to take the first few shots.
Well, Apwell has taken down one. Sharthak will fall as well. So Thoris and Sharthak, both tier 1s, have now gone down. So we know the remaining forces for TCM are around this general area that we're seeing SchoolBus slowly starting to appear in. And as you said, slowly is the key word here, because they're not doing this too quickly. Armley and Dark Godsim are there. Oddly enough, Apwell backing away a little, maybe looking for a better angle. But yet, not too much of a move made. You know, still getting spotted out a little. Still giving away the game a little. Dead Hunter there appearing up again, obviously in the IS-3. Big old tank. Hard to hide that one through, but they're going to have to make a move fast here. They can't necessarily depend on a cap either, and I'm kind of curious to see where they take this now and where they go from here, because, you know, it's... they look indecisive. They look like they're still trying to find a plan.
They know how much stopping ability still Mojo have. They know how much damage DJ Red Deep has. The execution has to be perfect onto TCM. The only real option I see for SchoolBus was the same as the option that TCM had on Cliff. Obviously the cap, because then they don't need to kill Eurofish. But that's going to be extraordinarily hard with DJ Red Deep and still Mojo in there. Eurofish can obviously jump off the hill, stop the cap anytime he wants, because he is just right on top of there. Positive gets away with that one. Eurofish just about missing that shot on the cross. Looking for a second. I'm not sure if he's going to hit that one. Second one doesn't connect either, so Positive managing to really miss a lot of shells. He's probably 3 or 4 shells down, and none of them have hit.
And look who's creeping up at the foot of the hill. Arclit, Apwell, Dark Godsim, none yet spotted out. Still Mojo might have a little bit of a rude awakening very soon. Arclit has appeared now. As we said, not much time. It's a bit of a 4-2 split. Armley and Shanish from that west side. We've got the others at the foot of the hill. They've got to start making their move, though. Shanish received a big bit of damage, and this is not going well for SchoolBus. They are taking a lot of damage on here. They need to find their reply fast. Durs and Wiseney are low, but they need to make this count, and very, very quickly. Dead Hunter not looking the right way at the right time. Still Mojo still alive. 2 minutes left. This is not going well.
There's a nick that does go down, so at the moment though, TCM on the back foot, 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. I think that needs to go down to about 40 seconds for TCM to win this one.
Well, let's find out. We are seeing the for the hill still being swarmed. Armley right in the background, making this one hurt. You can see it right there. He's going to be going a little bit low. As you said, phenomenal stopping power, but he needs to be a little careful. Oh, Armley goes down, though. That is the pressure immediately relieved from Still Mojo. He can back up a little bit, but he needs to be careful. There is still a big split coming towards him. Look at this. The 4-2 split will be coming into effect very soon. Dead Hunter. It's going to be Arclit, Dark Godsim, Positive, all working their way around. Shanish is being caught out here. Eurofish still doing that damage from up above. Still Mojo knows what's going on. 1 minute 25. They're going in towards that cap circle. Why is it DJ Red Deep? Oh, they're still alive. They've been sat back the whole time. And there goes Dead Hunter. He went too far ahead. He got caught out. Now Arclit out on a limb. He's only got 2 tier 1s to back him up. That's not who you want there. But Applewell found still Mojo. It's a 3v3 pretty much in this situation, but with 1 minute left, they're going to have to make this one count. Applewell now moving in for the kill. He's the one going to be hunting it down, looking for maybe the angle here. Owlclip moving in towards that 5100. 57 seconds left. YZNE tucked in behind the corners. Eurofish being completely negated here. 1v1's going down. Applewell towards DJ Redeem. Owlclip towards YZNE. One more shell will take him down. There we have it. But can they get the cap underway? Yes, surely they can do this. Eurofish now needs to go huge. 1v4. He must stop that cap happening. He's doing everything he can. Dark God, Zim, and Positive holding on by a limb. Fire now coming across from Applewell and Owlclip. They must defend these two. They must get this cap going. They're not far from it. Oh, look at that fire coming through. This could be disastrous. Can he hold on? I'm not sure he can. I don't think he can do this. 8 seconds left. Everything Eurofish can do comes down to this moment now. 1v4. He has to reset this. 2 seconds left. 1 second left. I don't think he's done it. I think SchoolBus haven't. Well done, SchoolBus. Unbelievable play in the last couple of seconds possible. They pulled it off. The unbelievable has just happened. And you doubted them. And they've just proven you're wrong.
That was insane by Owlclip. 2.7k damage in the T32.
Wow.
Certainly helped them through that one. Absolutely GG to SchoolBus. I said before, it was down to that cap, and that's exactly what happened. Eurofish, because he was out of the fight on top of that hill, he could only deal with Applewell. Once Applewell got shot, he got taken down. It was very, very hard for TCM to do anything about that. And then the push from Owlclip in the T32 around, absolutely superb. YZNE only could get a couple of shots across. And what really did it was the 2 tier 1s pushing in at the perfect time, getting the cap underway. TCM needed another 10 seconds, 9 or 10 seconds to take that win. That was really, really down to the wire. But I can't help but say it, TCM was still the better team in that game.
Doesn't matter if you're a better team.
But they could have won it.
They
on
fumbled Cliff.
And they should have played more defensively on mines.
Many mistakes were made there, I think, from both sides. It was a great game, nevertheless. The first two, phenomenal. You know, even on the draw, it was a questionable choice. And, you know, this is a game to go and watch back. Head over towards, obviously, WGLEU.com and check it out when the VODs come available, because it's one you want to just look over again and again and see every single moment happen as we just did. Brilliantly played out by both. Congratulations to SchoolBus for even drawing that one out in the end. TCM, I kind of feel they could have brought a little more to the plate there. You know, after having such an advantage.
Tanks there.
Could have done something, but still, the end result will be a 2-2 draw. But you know that result does not display how much of a brilliant game we just had. So definitely go back and watch that one through and through. Prior to that, Kazna crew picking up the victory over C-Play, but C-Play having their moments of brilliance. But Kazna, Elian at the helm, what can you do? Phenomenal side. And the first game, Isuba looking a little bit better than Wusa. Slightly
better. Actually looking a good 10-15% better than they have done in the previous matchup. So finally Isuba getting themselves into this season.
Yeah.
Five match weeks in. It took them some time, but it's always good to see that they are a team that can prove against the top teams. Wusa certainly a lot further down than I would have expected. Going into the season, actually, I had Wusa as one of my top teams coming through. One of the top new teams, at least.
What do you know, eh? Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's going on. For instance, WCG. I guess the grand finals. They even lost against the Americans. I mean, how bad can you be?
Yeah, that's never good.
No offense to my American counterparts, of course. You guys are incredible.
Well.
But yeah, well.
But speaking of that, let's check out the rankings, how it's affected actually, and how we're currently sitting at. And no surprises there, it is Kazakuru at the top. But the question for me is for how long? That little blemish on their record, that one draw, they could have been up there, you know, by all rights, you know, even on matches played. Virtus Pro, however, will be playing on the next play day. They'll be facing off against EPS, Evil Panda Squad. Not an easy opponent, so maybe Kazna can stay there. We'll have to wait and see. But outside of that, so far, SchoolBus getting ahead of TCM for now, but pretty much tied all even, though.
Yeah, they're tied. I mean, just like, oh, let's put TCM third or SchoolBus fourth. That was an insane matchup. For me, it's going to be interesting against Virtus Pro. Evil Panda Squad have been a very, very strong team. I think it's going to be a hard matchup for Virtus Pro as long as Evil Panda Squad be confident in their gameplay. They certainly have the skills to pay the bills. Also, last one, Freefall, Drooling Leprechauns. Drooling Leprechauns proven themselves already to be a great team. Freefall their counterparts in the same clan, Arsop, both Finnish teams. That's going to be a real cracker.
Yeah, Finnish showdown there. Definitely looking forward to that one. I do love the Finns, and I'm sure there'll be some interesting tactics between the two. I'm sure they'll egg each other on pretty much is what's going to happen.
I want to see the chat in that one.
Yeah, we'll have to leave it on. I'll try and get a Finnish translator in to help us out. Obviously, I can only say various rude words which are not meant for air. And outside of that, the first game we'll be kicking off with back on Thursday, obviously with Denial against Lucky Karaki. Is that another victim for Lucky Karaki to find? That's the biggest question to me. Denial not performing to the standard they should be, and Lucky Karaki picking up some very surprising victories over teams like TCM and SchoolBus. So, something to watch there, something that Denial surely will be nervous about. But anyway, guys, we have had a great time. And if you've enjoyed today's show, obviously make sure you follow below on Twitch TV. There's a little follow button down there. And also head over towards the social media sites like Facebook, like Twitter. We tweet, we post every time we go live, letting you know that there's more tank actions coming up. So guys, if you don't want to do all of that because you think, why the hell should I, just tune back in on Thursday the 19th and we'll be live at the exact same time at 7 PM CEST. I'll be here, he'll be here, even Melly will be here. So guys, I hope you are as well. See you then.